They inducted Patrick Willis into the 49ers Hall of Fame, which my reaction was, he wasn't in the 49ers Hall of Fame already? Like, what?
Why?
They should have retired his number. No one should ever wear 52 ever again. I don't know if people do. I don't think they do. His number should be in the Ring of Honor. He should be in the – he's arguably the best – I mean, whoever the best linebacker of all time is, I'll put Patrick Willis up against him, Pete Willis. He didn't have the longevity, but –
from a skill set standpoint, absolutely. The thing that I remember a lot about Willis, not only Willis, but Bowman, is the Bears were always known for these great linebackers. And I have a friend that's a Bears fan. And I remember going to him after a couple seasons of those two and saying, our linebackers look like your linebackers. They are Bears linebackers in 49er uniforms. Like, they're big, they're strong, they're fast. Patrick Willis, 174 combined tackles his rookie year. Are you kidding me? Guys, absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. And yeah, I'm happy to see it. They'll also, so Bryant Young was inducted last year, but they'll actually be able to unveil it this year as well, which was pretty cool to see. I love Bryant Young.
Should we give just a little statistical rundown of some of the accomplishments Patrick Willis knocked out?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's do it.
174 tackles his rookie year, 950 tackles for his career. He was Pro Bowl every single year of his career except for the last year where he only played 6 games.
Yeah.
He was All-Pro 5 times.
5 times.
He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he should be. They say, well, he didn't have the longevity. He'll be there. Like, he'll be a 3rd or 4th ballot guy. Well, Calvin Johnson didn't have the longevity. It's just because he's a West Coast guy and didn't get – if he had played for the Baltimore Ravens or the
Cowboys,
New York Jets or the Dallas Cowboys, he would be known as the best linebacker of all time. He still probably was the best. He was more athletic than Ray Lewis.
Yeah. Oh,
faster.
Yeah.
Hit just as
absolutely.
hard.
Yeah.
He was better than Ray Lewis. And I don't know what else you can say about Patrick Willis other than that.
Yeah, you take his top 5 years and put him up against Ray Lewis's top 5 years, and I've got to imagine that they're better statistic seasons than what Ray Lewis did. Ray Lewis was just such a leader, though. I mean, I remember I would watch just Ray Lewis videos and get so inspired from this guy. It was absolutely insane. And I mean, people completely forget that he's possibly a murderer.
Possibly, allegedly.
That's how good he was. Yeah, allegedly. That's how good he was, right? Like, people can forget completely about that when it comes to him. The other thing, too, when comparing him to Ray Lewis is Ray Lewis, and I get it's a full team effort, but Ray Lewis at an advanced age with a torn pec or whatever he had was able to beat the San Francisco 49ers and Patrick Willis. And I thought that was going to be, hey, here's the passing of the torch. And then unfortunately we only got 2 more years of Willis and he was out too. So
it was interesting how he walked away from the game. It was very Barry Sanders-ish.
Yeah.
Just like probably the most gifted player at his position of all time. Right when they hit 29, they felt like their athleticism was starting to slip a little bit. And they were like, you know what? I don't want to put subpar tape out there. I just don't.
No.
I don't want to do it. And I respect it. It's
like, you think about him.
They saw excellence when they watched the tape, and they just couldn't bear to see anything less than that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you look at him, you look at Barry, you look at Jim Brown, Calvin Johnson. I mean, guys that were athletic freaks compared to and even Randy Moss. I mean, really after 32, he was a shell of himself. So a lot of these guys really rely on athleticism, and as instinctual as he was, like I look at Fred Warner and I say Fred Warner could play till he's 35, right? Barring some major injury, but he's not the athletic freak that Patrick Willis was. He didn't rely on his doesn't rely on his athleticism the same way. Patrick Willis was an instinctual player, but the athleticism was through the roof. And once that starts to go, you got to be done, you know? So
Willis was like Bobby Wagner, but better.
Oh yeah.
He's like Bobby Wagner, but better.
Yeah, I would take Patrick Willis over Bobby Wagner, and that's yes.
I would take Patrick Willis over Fred Warner too, and I really like.
I'd take him over Luke Kuechly as well.
Absolutely, he hit so hard. He ran so fast. Mm-hmm. He was just so good. He didn't have this like big personality. He was actually very quiet, but he was vicious, and he made other players better. I liked Navarro Bowman. He was a very good player, but playing next to Patrick Willis really helped Navarro Bowman. It took a guy who was an excellent player and made him look like a Hall of Famer. That's the way I think of Navarro Bowman. Not to take anything away from Navarro, although I just did. But I'm just saying, Patrick Willis did make other players better. He really made Navarro Bowman look. I mean, some people think that Bowman was better than Willis. He wasn't.
No.
He was not.
No.
But that's how good Willis was.
No. Yeah, Willis was unbelievable. And even we remember Borland, who retired after his rookie year, but look at how much he flashed. And you don't think that that's a direct correlation to being around Patrick Willis? I mean, he wasn't near that player in college that he showed that he could have been had he had an actual career with the 49ers.